first year. Pat Riley, of course, leading the Lakers, who control the tip. Magic Johnson is being guarded by John Long, so Isaiah Thomas will be guarding Byron Scott. The Lakers are in the dark uniforms. They're purple. Pistons are in white. They turn it over. It'll be Detroit ball. So Detroit likes to run. The Lakers like to run. What's the big difference?
The inside game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar against Bill Laimbeer. That's where it's going to happen. Both teams ought to hold each other off with the fast break. I'd say it'd be pretty even in that department.
So the man who handles the ball now, that Norm Nixon was traded to San Diego. He leads the league in assists. He's on a record pace. Irvin Johnson, number 32. Kareem getting the ball low. Triple team for the moment. And Byron Scott, the rookie, misses the shot, and a foul called. A loose ball foul against Jamal Wilkes of the Lakers.
The Lakers so far not getting a fast break game going. They want to push it up quickly, and if they don't have it, they go to Jabbar. And he's drawing attention right away. Double and triple teams.
So Byron Scott, the rookie, with a tough assignment against Isaiah Thomas. John Long, known for his jump shooting skills, misses. So we still have no score, nearly a minute gone by in what has been a very sloppy first minute.
Well, they're trying to set the pace. It's not very easy to start off as quickly as both clubs would like to start off. They got to get their timing, and that usually takes a minute or two.
John Long in the middle. He's averaging 16.5 points per game. Thomas into Kent Benson. Benson and Kareem have met before. Benson misses the hook shot and a loose ball foul. Kareem punched Kent Benson when he was a rookie with Milwaukee, and a lot of people think he never regained his aggressiveness after that.
I would have to say that he has not been the most aggressive player since that occasion, Dick. But they're hoping that he gets a little mean today.
Rambis committed the foul. Tripucka turned the ball over. So far, the teams are tentative, feeling each other out, and turnovers galore so far. Still no score, a minute and a half gone by. John Long. And here comes Magic, leading rebounder among guards in the league. This is how he leads the Laker break and goes all the way.
They count on him to get things going. Right to the hoop, making sure that they get on the scoreboard first.
Isaiah Thomas lost the ball off his knee, turning it over. So we got a glimpse there of the end-to-end abilities of Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas.
Both ball clubs want to push the ball up quickly. Magic does it for the Lakers, Isaiah for the Pistons. They're the pace setters for both clubs.
3 turnovers for each team in the first 2 minutes of the game. Kareem going up against Laimbeer. Good defense by Bill Laimbeer. 2-0. The Lakers lead. Under 10 minutes remaining in the first period. Here's Laimbeer. Averaging 17.3 points a game and amongst the top rebounders in the NBA. Wilkes gets free inside, something he's done so many times.
He's the smartest quick forward, I think, in the NBA, Dick. He gets open. You can't understand at times how he does it, but he is one of the cuties.
Tripucka off the glass. He's been out with an injury and a tough one to his right arm, which we'll tell you about. He's trying to get his timing back and has been off. John Long saves it. Nice play by Long. Pistons trailing 4-2. 2-on-1. Benson. Basket counts and a foul.
Fast break basketball, you bet. Isaiah Thomas is probably one of the premier guards for the future at handling that middleman position. He dishes it off as well as anybody I've ever seen, Dick.
Chuck Daly, a Beau Brummel of sorts. He and Pat Riley, one of the 2 best-dressed coaches. First year replaced Scotty Robertson after coming from the broadcast booth, as did Pat Riley.
Here's Magic trying to push it up and Long right in his jersey with him, trying to bump him and slow up the pace of that quick attack.
Kareem gets position on Laimbeer. Does Kareem have a huge edge on Laimbeer?
Yes, he does, particularly since Detroit does not have a real great backup center. Laimbeer will have to be very careful not to get in foul trouble, and I think the Lakers are trying to exploit that immediately, trying to get Laimbeer in 1 or 2 fouls on him.
Benson traveling with the turnover. Magic Johnson hits outside. Keep in mind, we told you beyond 18 feet, Magic Johnson is nearly a 60% shooter. For those people that think he can't shoot from outside, well, that defies that logic. 3-point lead for the Lakers. 8.5 minutes to go, and Isaiah Thomas gets into the scoring column with his first point.
That'll loosen him up.
Averaging nearly 22 a game, and now the leading scorer on the team, and Johnson comes back. Do you think he's pumped up today coming back to Michigan?
Looks like he's played here before a few times.
Thomas throws it away.
You know, you get that outside shot going early. That gives you a world of confidence to do almost anything you want.
So the Lakers, who so far have been getting points lately from Magic outside, but you know they want to work the ball inside to Kareem against Lambeer, get him in a foul trouble. Good steal by Kelly Tripucka, going one-on-one and beats Magic Johnson to the hoop. Magic coming right back. Kareem with a rare jump shot from the corner.
When you score, you better get back quickly. They're going to blow right by you.
This game has all the earmarks, as Tom mentioned, of being a high-scoring affair. And I'm talking about 120s, 130s, or maybe higher. Lambeer outside, and we're going to explain why Lambeer will maybe going outside a lot against the Lakers. Magic Johnson hits 3 in a row from outside, and he has 8 points in the game. Thomas coming back. Baseline. It's a Thomas and Johnson show right now.
You think they're going to have a little bit to talk about this summer?
And they spend their summers together. They first got together in the Olympic trials and the Olympic tour of 1980 in Indianapolis. That's when they first met. Kareem with the sky hook.
Lambeer has to be very, very careful. Can't really go after him like he'd like to. Probably the second half he'll physical him more a little than he has been.
Kent Benson got free, and Kent Benson, who was a #1 draft pick by Milwaukee before being traded for Bob Lanier in a trade that certainly helped the Bucks. It was not a good trade for the Pistons, as it's turned out. Has 5 points. Johnson's going with a good thing. Rambis gets position on the offensive rebound. Taken away. Stripped away by Tripucka. 2-on-1 break. John Long. Benson keeps it alive in a new clock for the Pistons. Nearly halfway through this fast-moving first period, and the Lakers lead by 3. Byron Scott. Can't save it. Thomas. It's 3-on-2 for Detroit. And a good outside shooter is John Long. He hasn't found the mark, however.
He looks like he's concerned a little bit with the pressure this game, John Long. He normally knocks those in like it's nothing.
He's 0 for 5 so far. 5:40 remaining in the first period. Byron Scott hits the basket. So the rookie from Arizona State, who replaced Norm Nixon in the Laker lineup and is averaging 9 points a game, gives LA a 5-point lead.
Interesting matchup. They got Kareem guarding Benson and Rambis guarding Lambeer.
Why's that?
They're trying to take away the outside shot of Lambeer.
So that's the strategy that Lambeer has used to effect against the Lakers in the past, trying to bring Kareem outside. So Magic Johnson or Byron Scott now over Indiana. Cliff Livingston, number 53, travels going to the hoop. So our first look at the second-year power forward out of Wichita State, who was a #1 draft pick last year and had started earlier this year, got into foul trouble, but he is an exciting, crowd-pleasing player.
Well, he can get it up and down the court.
LA is shooting nearly 80% so far. Detroit 40%. A big reason for the score being 20-13 Lakers. Here's Thomas. James Worthy, number 42, has come in for Los Angeles as well. Kelly Tripucka going to the hoop. He can hurt you from outside and can go inside when he has his game down.
Well, he's had a sore bicep that really affected the muscle and the nerve. I'm surprised he's effective as he is right now. He had trouble shooting in Friday night's game.
Wild shot thrown up by Jamal Wilkes. Here comes Thomas, 2-on-2, and John Long gets the break. So the Pistons are breaking right now, and they have cut the lead to 3.
Lambeer doing his job on the boards to get that fast break started for the Pistons.
And Isaiah Thomas has picked up 5 assists so far. Kareem, good move, but it was so good he took a couple of steps. I think the Pistons are playing well inside.
Yes, particularly against Kareem. They're taking away a lot of his inside game, and Lambeer doing it without committing fouls.
Kareem guarding Livingston, and they're going to call no basket. Interference by Lambeer on top. Bill Lambeer, who played in Italy, was with Cleveland, played for Chuck Daly briefly at Cleveland, and sent to Detroit. One of the best deals the Pistons maybe ever made.
I would think so. We're looking at now a couple of interesting matchups. We got Worthy in there for the Lakers, being guarded by Livingston.
Basket, no good, but a foul.
And the Lakers really feel that Worthy can take anybody in the NBA to the low post. So Jabbar has not been productive so far down there. They're going to try James Worthy.
Mike McGee, a player who impressed us last week, who the Lakers stuck with, and they were glad they did. Second in the NBA in field goal percentage, comes into the ball game. John Long commits his first personal foul, and Worthy, this is the free throw. You like James Worthy. He's a power forward who may be quicker than any power forward in the league.
I think he's going to run other power forwards to death before his career is over. He plays like a quick forward, but he gives you that power forward inside game and the rebounding. So he's really going to be something in the future.
Averaging nearly 14 a game, James Worthy. Michael Cooper in the game, number 21. He'll try his luck against Isaiah Thomas defensively. Kelly Tripucka is fouled by James Worthy. That'll be the 14th foul against the Lakers and the first personal on James Worthy. So Kelly Tripucka going to the line. He played at Notre Dame.
Well, they're right up on Isaiah, trying to slow down that fast break, but he eludes one of the quickest defenders on the Lakers staff, Michael Cooper. That's great speed.
Tripucka, one of 4 Pistons who are shooting 80% or better from the free throw line. He's hitting nearly a 22 a game, second scorer on the ball club out of Notre Dame, who told us yesterday that there's no question that the crowd plays a part in my game.
He gets up when the people are raw, and that's from those Notre Dame days, I'll bet you.
21-19, Lakers leading most of the way. Worthy travels, so the Pistons scrapping, hanging in there, can tie it up right here. That's the 9th turnover by the Lakers so far in this first period.
That was a smart play by the Lakers trying to get into Magic, who was posting up the much smaller Isaiah.
Winding down to 3 minutes to go in the first period. They double team Vinnie Johnson, a very active off guard in the ball game. Kelly Tripucka gets the shot. So Kelly Tripucka, who's had that bad arm, coming back, and after going 0 for 4 Friday, seems to be finding the range in this game. But
he didn't even hit iron on Friday night, the game we saw.
That's right. So we have our second tie of the ball game at 21. Cooper into Worthy. Kareem tips it in. Coming into the ball game, Kareem needed 14 points to become the second player in NBA history for 31,000. Wilt Chamberlain, of course, is the all-time leading scorer. Kareem has 8. Thomas got 3.
What a move he put on. They were playing for the pick and roll. Isaiah spotted the overplay and just took advantage of it.
He has 8 points, 6 points. Tripucka has 8. Kareem and Magic have 8 for the Lakers. McGee has the ball knocked away. Isaiah Thomas got hit in the mouth, but the Pistons have the ball, and a loose ball foul has been called against Kelly Tripucka
by blocking him out.
Each team has 14 fouls with 1:53 remaining in the first period in a 23-23 tie. Keep in mind, the Lakers have beaten the Pistons 9 straight times as part of an overall dominance in this division. James Worthy spins in over Livingston, and it's a 25-23 Laker lead. So here's Isaiah Thomas. Cooper from behind. Now McGee picks up front. Pat Riley told us he's going to put 2 or 3 people on Isaiah Thomas.
He's going to try and wear him down, no question about it. And the guy that'll really try and wear him down is McGee. This is the accelerators, as Pat Riley calls them. That unit in there now for the Lakers.
And the 18 for the Detroit Pistons, and their captain is Vinnie Johnson, who's 6'1" but burly and can fight inside. Mike McGee on the fast break comes the other way, and so the Lakers have opened up a 4-point lead with 1:05 to go in the first.
We saw Worthy come up there on that break. Pretty tough thing for a power forward to do, third man up.
Lane Beer looking for the ball inside. Kareem is on the bench, and Swen Nader is in the ball game. There's one block. Vinnie Johnson, great hustler inside, finally scores. What a valuable player Vinnie Johnson is.
He's 6'1", but he doesn't believe it.
And neither do the opponents that feel the muscle inside. 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Livingston knocks it out of bounds. So right now, the Lakers have Swen Nader at center, replacing Kareem. They're going to bring in Byron Scott, who started the game at guard, and Magic Johnson goes out. He has scored 8 points.
What the Lakers hope to accomplish with this unit in there now is to pick up the pace of the game even more than they had in the early part and try and wear out the Pistons.
Lane Beer goes out of the ball game And Earl Cureton comes in, the former Philadelphia 76er. Byron Scott just in the game hits the shot. So the Lakers lead by 4. 18 seconds on the shot clock. And we'll have a Los Angeles foul. It'll be their 5th, putting them into the penalty, and they'll go to the line to shoot 2 right now.
And Chuck Daly has responded with his group. He calls his group the A team, the assaulters. He turns them loose out there to really assault the boards.
This has been the year in which the second units have risen to the fore. The New York Knicks have a second unit, and of course the Pistons do as well. Isaiah Thomas hits the first free throw. Magic Johnson on the bench with 8. Kareem also on the bench with 8 points for the Lakers. Kelly Tripucka has 8. And Isaiah Thomas looking for his 8th point of the ball game.
And each coach, Dick, is trying to give that unit an identity, so forth the names.
20 seconds to go in the period. Michael Cooper, he's playing point guard. He's the backup point guard. Byron Scott, the off guard. Thomas looking for a steal. Ranks amongst the league leaders in that department. Double team inside to Worthy. A three-point attempt by Michael Cooper, who has more three-point baskets than any Laker team in history. And that'll do it for the first.
To do is acquire better judgment as to when to pass and when to shoot. Magic already has it.
And that's as succinct as you can get in comparing 2 of the more exciting players in the NBA. Terry Tyler, really good off the bench. Number 41 comes in the game. Tough shot for him. Keeping it alive, however, is Cliff Livingston, and he can't make it. Pistons on the offensive glass. And finally, Worthy comes down. Mike McGee pushing it up. Isaiah Thomas is back. McGee drives. And here comes Detroit running. And Isaiah Thomas goes in on Worthy to get the bucket.
Vinnie Johnson pushes it up, gets the rebound, gives the assists, everything.
Thomas is 4 for 4 from the field. And now the Pistons with a 3-on-2. Vinnie Johnson from Brooklyn, New York, by way of Baylor in Waco, Texas, brings the Pistons to within a bucket.
He's the captain of this A team, and believe me, they love him out there. How he does what he does is beyond me. He's fearless.
Originally 7th pick in the first round by Seattle, was traded to Detroit. Vinnie Johnson, who loves to play. In fact, everyone seems to be relaxed and enjoying the game under Chuck Daly.
You know what Chuck Daly says about Vinnie Johnson? Thank God for Vinnie.
John Long, they're going to have to appreciate John Long because they're going to need his perimeter shooting. He comes into the ball game for the Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas goes out. He has 9 points, Thomas does, to lead the Pistons. James Worthy hits the first free throw. So a look at James Worthy, who started 50 of the first 51 games at forward for the Lakers and had his best game as a rookie last year against these Pistons with 28. Lakers by 4. Long and Johnson in the backcourt. Byron Scott guarding Vinnie Johnson, and he commits the foul.
Chuck Daly thinks so highly of Vinnie Johnson. He's given him the green light to go one-on-one anytime he wants to. He's such a competitor that if he misses his own shot, he's going to go scrap in there and get the rebound at 6-1. And a couple of plays earlier, Dick, he's the guy that kept the ball alive, even though on the boards, even though the Pistons didn't score. That's the kind of toughness that every coach likes.
And we asked him yesterday about that toughness. He says, you know, when you grow up in the playgrounds of Brooklyn, if you want to continue to play on the playgrounds and not sit it out, you better be tough and fight for the ball inside. So that's where he got the start.
In Brooklyn, you either have to carry a knife or have good elbows.
We have a loose ball foul against Earl Cureton. That's his first personal foul. Nearly a minute and a half gone by in the second period, 34-30. Visiting Lakers lead the Detroit Pistons. Their biggest lead was 7 in the first period. And an illegal defense has been called against Detroit, and it looked like the Lakers were purposely setting that up by keeping Nader and McGee outside.
Yes, trying to get that illegal defense called. The next one will result in a technical foul and a free throw for the Lakers. But they're working that Worthy matchup pretty consistently.
Kareem has been on the bench a while, and so is Magic Johnson, and the Lakers maintain a 4-point lead, so that's a plus for them. Knocking it away is Earl Cureton, the former 76er. Good defensive play by Earl. And the Lakers Lakers are playing a very tight defense now, not giving the Pistons anything outside. Double team of Long, goes up with a shot and is fouled. So John Long played it well, the 6-year veteran from the University of Detroit.
But this Piston team is not at its best when it has to go into the set offense. They're better at running, particularly this unit. And John Long lucky to come away there with a foul.
For Philadelphia.
He's that type of player. He can ignite a team even though he's playing a backup role. And he's got such enthusiasm that it transfers to the other players.
That's Earl Curidan now with the Pistons, and John Long now, 27 years old, along with Terry Tyler, the oldest in point of service on this Detroit ball club. Brings the Pistons to within 2 points with just under 10 minutes to go in the second period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn and a big crowd to watch Magic Johnson's return to Michigan here as the Lakers battle the Pistons on CBS. Still going to be Los Angeles ball.
Little sneaky press, zone press that time by the Pistons, and the Lakers not alert to pick it up.
Talked about the Laker dominance over this division. 20 straight victories by LA. Mike McGee. Nader lost position to Earl Curidan, and here comes Vinnie Johnson bringing it up with a chance to tie the game for the Pistons, and Terry Tyler does just that.
Boy, they up quick. They get it up very, very quickly, and they try and get somebody in the low post just as quickly. That time it worked. Terry Tyler wide open before the defense could react.
One of the better men coming off the bench in the NBA, Terry Tyler, and he can score in bunches and really can leap inside. James Worthy had the baseline layup. It fell off, and now the Pistons, who have led only at 5-4 early in the game, can regain the lead. Livingston and Worthy battling, and a defensive play by Mike McGee, knocking the ball away from John Long, and then McGee lost control at the other end, and so the Lakers miss a chance for the fast break. Magic Johnson has come back in the ball game along with Jamal Wilkes for the Lakers as McGee, Nader, and Cooper go out, and Kareem also is back in. So Pat Riley going with 3 of the top now.
Boy, getting all the fresh bodies back in there again. But this pace of a game, you need to sit on a bench for a few minutes.
Tyler working against Jamal Wilkes. Terry Tyler is playing in his 470th consecutive game today. He is the NBA Ironman right now. Never missed a game in his 6-year career. Tyler forces the error. Vinnie Johnson comes up with it. Terry Tyler makes the defensive play in one end. Magic, long pass, an easy basket for Jamal. Jamal Wilkes.
So the assaulters, all of them, went for the offensive rebound, left the backcourt uncovered. Magic Johnson picked it up.
And another tie at 36. That's our 5th tie of the ball game. Nearly 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Tyler tried to get it in the middle. Picked off by Byron Scott. Taken back by Curidan, and a Laker foul. Let's see. And a loose ball foul called against Byron Scott.
Lakers foul number 4 by.
Here's a man-sized job for Curidan, a smaller man by far. Gets all over Kareem. A nice defensive play by Tyler to step in between Wilkes, who's Kareem's favorite target when he's doubled.
Lakers 3 team fouls in the second period, and a defensive play by Magic Johnson. Gets it to Byron Scott, 2-on-1, and Scott is fouled. But the crowd cheers Flip Livingston's effort in trying to stop Byron Scott.
I wouldn't want to be a referee and have to officiate all my games in this building with 40,000 people booing you. That looked like a clean block.
And some of those fans who sit right behind the scorer's table, you know.
Oh, we had some beauties the other night when we watched this game. They sure like UB Brown, didn't they?
Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer come back. Thomas has 9 and a hand for Vinnie Johnson, who scored just 4 points, but really made things happen for the Pistons.
That assault group did their job, banged the boards, and played very effectively while they were in there.
Byron Scott, who grew up 14 blocks from the Forum in Inglewood, California. No one bullied him, and he gained confidence as a youth, and that's why he was able to handle the pressure after the trade from San Diego to LA. Thomas. Jabbar. Less than 7.5 to go in the first half. 38-36 LA. Their lead is now 4 and could be more after that basket by James Worthy and a foul.
Yesterday we watched the Pistons work out a drill to make sure they would pick up everybody coming up the court, even if it wasn't their own man. Looked like that drill didn't work as Worthy sneaked in there all by himself.
Isaiah Thomas commits the foul. That's his second personal foul. Three-point play by Worthy. He has 8 points in the game. 4 Lakers have 8 to lead them. Thomas has 9 to lead the Pistons. He has the ball, and the Lakers are up by 5 again. Lambier.
They have Jabbar guarding Lambier right now, and that's the matchup that Chuck Daly was hoping for. Lambier will pull Jabbar outside.
He did it there. Jamal Wilkes, and no basket. Interference by James Worthy as the ball was on top of the rim, so that basket won't count.
But does he do
Sports coming up for your viewing enjoyment on CBS.
Well, they're taking a run at Isaiah, trying to keep the ball away from him. Long, not really the best ball handler of all the guard corps for the Pistons.
And notice that Jamal Wilkes, who many times this year has been defending against the guard, doing it right now against Long. Lambier over Kareem again. Livingston can't draw the foul, and James Worthy stepped on the line. It'll be Detroit ball.
You know, that strategy of Lambier being out and Jabbar guarding him frees up the likes of Livingstone and Tyler to bang those boards in a lot easier fashion.
16 turnovers by the Lakers, who turned it over 33 times in losing to the New Jersey Nets this past week. John Long doesn't have a shooting eye, and here come the Lakers running with a 3-point lead. Byron Scott last touched by a Piston. It's Laker ball, and that's a good call by Jack Madden.
Worthy really got it up the floor quickly. An amazing exhibition for a power forward to be the third man up as consistently as he's been doing.
So here's Magic Johnson, won an NCAA championship in his sophomore year at Michigan State. Isaiah Thomas won an NCAA title in Indiana in his sophomore year. Johnson left uncovered. Someone's going to find out that Magic is a 60% shooter from out there.
Well, they'd rather do that, let Magic shoot from out there, than have Kareem get those sky hooks.
5 for 6 from the outside is Magic, and a good defensive play by Cooper there.
I mean, that's a coaching decision. They want to take away the inside game and hope that Magic, after a while, with a lot of bumping and running, gets a little tired and starts to miss.
John Long over Kareem, and they're going to call the offensive foul.
Offensive foul on number 25, John Long, his second.
Here's Cooper playing some strong D. Comes up from behind and gets a little bit of a piece of it. You got to know where these Lakers are at all times.
John Long committed his second personal foul, and that's the 4th on the Pistons this period. 5, and you're in the penalty. Wilkes lost it, and good hustle by Terry Tyler. And Vinnie Johnson's going to come back in the ball game now for the Detroit Pistons, and John Long goes out. Long hasn't found the shooting eye, and Vinnie Johnson will make things happen inside.
He's kind of a two-way player, Vinnie Johnson. Point guard and power guard, big guard.
He's handling the ball, but
either position he'll play. Right now they got Isaiah as the off guard, the shooting guard.
And Cooper on him at 6'7". Here's Terry Tyler over Magic Johnson. Kareem gets the rebound. Benson in his face. 5-point lead. Lakers can match their biggest lead of the ball game, and it's still Laker ball, but the Pistons are not giving the Lakers anything on those breakaway layups.
Well, that little drill really helped yesterday. More often than not, they're getting to stop that initial thrust of the Lakers.
Tripucka back in the ball game for Detroit. Magic Johnson misses. Lambier was hit by Rambis. No foul call.
Lambier starting to get a little bit more physical with Jabbar, blocking him out and also challenging him for that low post position.
5:10 remaining. First half, Thomas went in, but the whistle had blown, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Isaiah Thomas. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. And keep in mind that Isaiah Thomas has fouled out more than any other Detroit Piston this year.
And that's because he's so aggressive, Dick. He'll go after everything. He's got those quick hands. He jabs at the ball, and every once in a while the official will call one of those, and that's what gets him in foul trouble.
He goes to the bench with 3. He has scored 9 points to lead the Pistons, and John Long replaces him. Tripucka has 8. Magic Johnson has 10. Scott, Abdul-Jabbar, and Worthy have 8 for the Lakers. 5:08 remaining in the first half. 44-38. The Lakers can match their biggest lead right here.
This guy is such a versatile player. Michael Cooper gives him an extra guard and an extra forward.
No basket.
No basket.
There was a lane violation by the Lakers. Pat Riley doesn't believe it, so it's still a 6-point game as the Pistons take over.
Michael Cooper over the line before the shot was released.
Inside, Trapuka gets it to Lambeer. Well-executed play by the Pistons.
Well, that time Rambis picked up Lambeer. They're back to that matchup, the Lakers, and the Pistons starting to use it.
Rambis knocked away by Kent Benson. Still LA ball. Here's Kent Benson, who was member of a World NCAA championship team in Indiana. Third in the team in steals. Wilkes going baseline. Throws it away. Good defense again by Detroit. Here's Trapuka. And it's Trapuka who gets credit for the basket.
I can't believe you got credit for that one, Dick. That was Vinnie Johnson, if anybody.
All right, they changed it to Vinnie Johnson. You're right. Johnson gets credit. And Abdul-Jabbar comes right back.
For a stuff off a rebound. All 6-1 of them.
Lambeer stuffs Kareem. Well, he really is underrated to many people, but not to Pat Riley, Lambeer. He thinks he's one of the top 4 or 5 centers in the game.
And he thinks they're the key to this ball club because as he rebounds, so goes their fast break.
So now the Laker lead at 1.6. Cut to 2. Kareem doubled up. 1 second on the shot clock. They got it off in time. And a new clock for LA. Rambis, Wilkes, great pass by Kurt Rambis.
That's how Wilkes gets open. He knows how to find the open spot. He loses his man better than anybody I've seen in a long time playing in the NBA.
Rambis had to get the ball to him in that split second he was open. 4-point game, 3:25 to go. First half. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Kurt Rambis. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Lakers. The Pistons are in the penalty.
Want to see a 6'1" man come up and do just a spectacular thing. Trapuka can't make the shot, and there's 6'1" Vinnie Johnson on the stuff. Wow.
3:19 at the bottom at Cleveland when the Cavaliers were at the depths. And now with a resurgent Detroit Piston club. One of the big stories here. Here's Lambeer from the corner. Benson gets the offensive board.
And Kareem is guarding Benson, and he's turned Benson loose on the boards. I think they must have thrown some raw meat at Benson today.
3 minutes to go in the half. A 2-point game, short on the shot. And it's going to be Laker ball. And Kent Benson feels it was kicked out of bounds by a Laker, and he may have a point, Tommy.
I think he does, but what's really great about Benson right now is getting mad. And we don't often see him get mad.
He talked about that confrontation with Kareem in the first year of his career. And if he is aggressive, that's a bonus for the Pistons. 48-46, the Lakers lead. Magic guarded by John Long.
You know, Trapuka has been doing an outstanding job on Wilkes so far.
And normally that's not Trapuka's strength at all, defense.
Well, Chuck Daly thinks that Trapuka's a better than average defender, but Wilkes is really a difficult guy to hang with. But Trapuka's doing it.
They have 11 seconds to get the shot off. Jamal Wilkes. And the other end, Magic Johnson keeps it alive, and here's Wilkes, and that one goes off, and a loose ball foul. And they're going to call it interference against the Lakers. So the Pistons can tie it up here. Chuck Daly, who coached at the University of Pennsylvania for 6 years, winning 4 Ivy League titles. 2:22 remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn in Pontiac, Michigan. With a shootout between the Pistons and the Lakers. Trapuka off the mark, but the Pistons get it again. And John Long ties it up.
Trapuka is having difficulty shooting from dead in the corner with that sore arm. But John Long is starting to heat up a little bit. I think he got rid of those little shakes.
So we have our 6th tie of the ball game and 2 minutes remaining in the first half. When you talk about pride and the resurgence of the Detroit Pistons, John Long, who is from here and played his college ball here, knows better than anyone. Out of bounds, and Kent Benson is putting a lot of pressure on a much taller Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and now the Pistons take over, and Byron Scott comes in replacing Michael Cooper for the Lakers. There's Scott.
Lambier getting a little bit more physical with Jabbar, starting to move around a little bit, something that Jabbar doesn't like.
Vinnie Johnson and Byron Scott. A couple of strong guards out there. Kareem going all the way out to meet Lambier. Tripucka with a screen by Lambier. Worthy clears. Lakers looking to regain the lead, and Tripucka intercepts the pass. He comes from that football family, of course, with Frank, his dad, who was a quarterback. Kelly, it counts, and a foul.
What an important player here for the Pistons. Tripucka, with his great athletic ability, goes out, makes the interception, and says, I'm going all the way, gang. Turns tail, and up he goes right into the tall timber. Big hoop, and Kelly can ignite this team when he gets it going.
Biggest lead of the game now for the Pistons. 3-point lead with 1:15 to go in the first half. Byron Scott off the side of the backboard. Vinnie Johnson to Long. Fans are on their feet here at the Silverdome, and the Pistons have a 5-point lead with under a minute to play in the half. Worthy feeding Wilkes. Good pass and a good move by Jamal.
Tripucka getting a little bit tired. He's starting to lose Wilkes.
Kelly Tripucka was out for 12 days, just getting his strength back. They're going to call this as a blocking foul against James Worthy. And in the penalty are the Lakers, and a technical foul has been called against James Worthy.
Here's Worthy taking the dive. Active studio. That's called tantrum.
And it's also called technical. It's a technical tantrum, Tommy.
Technical tantrum.
I hope the T's run out. I'm getting Bill Lambier, 87% free throw shooter, the best free throw shooting center in the NBA. Takes the technical foul.
I think Vinnie Johnson may have hurt himself. I'd be ashamed. He is a spark on this team. He's my kind of player.
Yes, he is.
You know what Chuck Daly says about him? He loves him because he's a head nodder. That means when he's in the locker room, everything Chuck Daly says, he nods in agreement. And then he goes out and does it.
You coaches love those kind of players, didn't you?
He's what you call a coach's player. You've heard of player coaches? Not Vinny.
56 to 50, 22 seconds and 15 on the shot clock. This crowd is revved up now. The Pistons, after trailing in 1 point by 7, have forged in front by 6. Kareem skyhook narrows it to 4. And Detroit can get off the last shot if they can get by the Lakers' pressure. Long for 3. And the half is over, but the crowd loves what they've seen. Pontiac Silverdome. This is a club, as we mentioned, never won a division title in Detroit, lost 61 games as recently as 3 years ago, and trailing Milwaukee by 2 games in the Central Division. Milwaukee's been hot. The Pistons also playing well. Underway in the third period, and John Long takes the first shot. Good defense, and they're going to call a foul. It'll be on Byron Scott of the Lakers.
As I said before, Dick, the best part of the Pistons offense is the fast break. When they have to go to their set offense, they have some problems. They have to go to the long shot, the perimeter shot. This fella here at the line is very, very important in that scheme of things. They put Jamal Wilkes, a big man, on him to try and disturb the rhythm of the shooting.
John Long at the line. Byron Scott now with 3 personal fouls. The Lakers led most of the first quarter. Their biggest lead was 7, but Detroit came back in the open court and took advantage of LA turnovers and moved out to their lead. So it's 58 to 52. 6-point lead. Matches the biggest of the game. And Magic Johnson now with 12 points.
Well, he used to penetrate almost every time up the court in his first couple of years. Now he's been more selective, but when he goes to the hoop, you can't stop him.
Tripucka on the screen with Lambier, and Benson keeps it alive. Isaiah Thomas out of Indiana, native of Chicago, Illinois. Going to the hoop, Long passing to Benson, and a good pass by John Long inside.
Jabbar is guarding Benson, and Benson is taking him outside a little bit. That's foreign territory for the big center for the Lakers.
Pistons up by 6 points. Scott, same 5 that started the game for the Lakers in there. Same story for Detroit. Sky hooked by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who now has 14 points and becomes the second player in NBA history to reach 31,000 career points. They're going to have a jump ball as Kelly Tripucka was tied up inside.
That was a perfect example of the up-quick offense of the Pistons. Get it up quick and get it into Tripucka as quickly as possible. That time, not quite quick enough.
And the cheer is for Kareem, reaching 31,000 points. He's shooting for Wilt Chamberlain's all-time scoring record and needs to average less than 19 a game the rest of the way this season. And a 3-second violation called against the Lakers.
Here's a great pick coming up to free John Long. Benson, and he rolls to the hoop, makes Jabbar switch, leaves Benson all alone underneath. Excellent pass. That's how the Pistons are doing it.
Tripucka tries to get it through a crowd and does amazingly. There were 2 Lakers there, and Lane Beer picked it up off the ground. So right now the Pistons are beating the Lakers to the ball.
They're beating them to the floor, they're beating them to the boards, and they're out hustling them up the court.
Matches the biggest lead of the game for Detroit. Kareem. They may go to him for more offense. Is Byron Scott from the corner. Good shot by Byron Scott, who's been in double figures in 19 of the last 22 games. Scott double figures again today. Lakers control. And Magic Johnson swoops in. Benson loses it. Magic gets the 2 finally. And it's a 2-point game. Pistons 62-60.
Some good defense, but not quite alert enough to hold on to that basketball. You got to really protect it against the likes of the Lakers.
Tripucka in a crowd. Good defense there by the Jamal Wilkes and Byron Scott. And now they call a Laker foul. Watch Rambis. He's a 6 and 6 rebounds. And Kent Benson. This is the first free throw.
You know, they've got a section up here called Kent's Corner. He invites kids to come to the games and pays for the tickets. Nice gentleman.
Yes, he is. 7th-year pro. Since he's been in the starting lineup, the Pistons have won 23 and lost 12. There's the trap defense. First time we've seen it for Detroit, and it works. They have a 3-point lead at the ball. John Long is open. Slapped away by Scott. Pistons.
You know, John Long is so anxious he's starting to aim his shots right now. That's why everything's falling short.
So far, the fans at home have not really seen the dead-eye outside shot that Long is known for. He's 3 of 11 from the field. Lane Beer.
This is just another game for the big guy. Let me alone out there. You're going to pay for it.
13 for Lane Beer. 4 of the 5 Piston starters are in double figures. The only one who isn't is Isaiah Thomas, who has 9. Coming around the screen and finding an opening is Byron Scott. So Byron Scott has 12 points. The Lakers have won 17 of 22 since he's moved into the starting lineup as the off guard. So it's 65-62 Detroit. 8:08 remaining in the 3rd period. Lane Beer. Rambis clearing.
A little bit too far out that time for Big Bill.
But as you mentioned many times, the Pistons live and die by that perimeter shot, don't they?
They don't have that real true inside game that most teams have, like the Lakers have, for instance, right here with Kareem. Isn't that an asset? When you get somebody that size with that talent swooping to the middle and nobody can stop you, you've got a great adjunct to a fast break.
Kareem has 16 points on 8 for 10 shooting. People have been trying to retire him for many years. He's not ready to sit down yet and go for the slippers and the easy chair. Bill Lane Beer comes back, and Lane Beer has 6 points. So there's 15 this 3rd period, and the Pistons maintain a 3-point edge.
That's where that mismatch is backfiring again. Rambis paying Lambeer. He takes him inside.
They double-team Kareem. Wide open, Byron Scott, right of the key. Lane Beer, good position on Kareem. And with 7:15 to go in the 3rd, the Pistons. John Long struggling again. Tripucka blocked inside. He was too far under the basket, and the Lakers got a piece of it twice. And they're going to call an offensive foul against Jamal Wilkes.
Bill Laimbeer is a tough guy. He's got a black eye several times this season, and here's a reason why. He gets right in front of everybody.
Los Angeles with an upper respiratory infection. He did not make this trip for the Lakers, and he has missed 5 games, averaging over 14 points. But Jamal Wilkes rejoined the club this week because he was called for that foul before the timeout. Isaiah Thomas misses a 3-point attempt. 6:40 remaining, third period, and a 3-point lead for Detroit.
Well, the big guy, Jabbar outside. They're trying to work James Worthy on Benson in there.
And Worthy got through.
They go to that matchup as much as they'll go to Kareem. That time they used Kareem to stay outside, so Laimbeer wouldn't even be around the area.
Thomas and Laimbeer playing a 2-man game between the man in the middle and a guard outside. They isolated those 2 players, and we have a Los Angeles foul. It is on Byron Scott, and that'll be his 4th foul. Vinnie Johnson, who has been a spark plug and has made it happen for the Pistons in the first half, comes back in the ball game for Detroit. Going out is John Long, and the Lakers will counter with Michael Cooper into the ball game. And sitting out is Byron Scott with his 4th foul.
Laimbeer at the line is playing a head game with the Lakers right now. When the power forward is guarding him, he runs him into the low post. That's how he got fouled by James Worthy. And when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar plays him, he takes him outside. So, and the Pistons very alert to who is guarding Bill Laimbeer.
He is a smart player and likes very much being with the Pistons. He loved the trade, sending him from Cleveland to Detroit because his parents and his wife's folks live in Toledo, Ohio, so they get a chance to see him play. Laimbeer has 17 points, the game high right now, and a 3-point Detroit lead. Under 6 minutes to go, third period. They triple Kareem and throw the ball away. Detroit harassing the Lakers.
They double team late in developing. They've got Kareem guessing on where it's coming from and how quickly.
26 turnovers committed by Los Angeles. Laimbeer.
Has Jabbar on him. The outside shot.
He has 19 points, does Laimbeer. He had 24 against the Lakers in the very first game of his NBA career. So he likes playing this team, no question. 5-point lead, Jamal Wilkes gets 2 right back. What do they say about Jamal Wilkes? Paul Westhead said his jumper is like snow falling off a bamboo leaf.
Goes through the net like a basketball to me.
Laimbeer hits another one.
They better find that man, or this game's going to get out of reach.
73-68. Laimbeer going inside and lately outside for 21 points to lead everyone. Kareem coming right back with his 18th point.
They're still running bodies at Isaiah.
They're going to call Michael Cooper with this foul. It'll be the 4th team foul on Los Angeles. 5 and you reach the penalty, and the Pistons have not yet committed a team foul in this third period.
We haven't seen Isaiah penetrate as much as I have in the past. So those guards of the Lakers are taking an effect on, having an effect on.
Laimbeer gets free inside and draws the foul. He thought he was fouled the first time. He had to wait for the second time. But that's a good point about the penetration. You bring Laimbeer out, you expect that Isaiah Thomas will penetrate.
What a pass. Bullet pass inside. Misses it, but has the presence of mind to go back and get it. Uses that body. When you get in his way, you're going to get hurt.
One of the better free throw shooters, as we told you, of the big men in the NBA, Laimbeer, who has 13 points this period. 22 in the game. Blue-collar player in a blue-collar city. Bill Laimbeer. And it's now a 75-70 game. The Pistons lead. 4:35 remaining in the third.
The Lakers need one here to try and change the momentum a little bit.
Still Laker ball, but it's that pesky hands. The Lakers have to be aware of the Detroit harassing defense. Here's Cliff Livingston, who's had a pretty good game against the Bullets last week. in the ball game now, replacing Kent Benson, and not to be denied, James Worthy, the baseline.
The Lakers took advantage of the double team of Jabbar, got it to the wide open man. So they're using their heads a little bit to score right now.
This is a big test for the Pistons because they were trailing most of the first half, and have the lead most of the second half, and they're playing terrific basketball, but by no means have they really put the Lakers out of the game.
The mistake they can make right now is to slow the ball down. They've got to continue the pace game that's gotten them where they are.
Vinnie Johnson misses Livingston inside. This Livingston. He may be their best pure power forward.
At 6'7", he plays like 6'9", but he goes quickly to the boards, a fast leaper, stays with it. He'll put it in your face, and you better block him out way outside because you're going to leap over everybody you got.
3 personal fouls on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the bench of this club, the 18 that you talked about, made up of the Tylers and the Livingstons, who are really good leapers. He says that makes it happen.
Just give me a leaper, I love him.
Everyone loves a leaper.
He said, you can't get me a leaper, get me a wide body.
He had a lot to say about wide bodies and how tough they are to get around.
One way or another, he wants to take up room in that war zone close to the basket.
Chuck Daly, who has instilled confidence in the bench. They know their role. That's what Bill Laimbeer told us. He now has the Pistons having their meals together. He's brought them into a unified group, something they haven't seen for a long time. The last winning season the Pistons had was back in 1977. Kareem misses the second free throw, and the Pistons are up by 4. Kareem with 19 leads the Lakers. Laimbeer with 23, top scorer for the Pistons.
But the Pistons are having to go to their set offense much too much.
Yeah, that's a warning sign as far as you're concerned, right?
Yeah. When they can get production like that from Livingston inside, that's because Kareem is having to stay outside to guard Laimbeer.
Matches the biggest lead of the game for the Lakers, and Wilkes comes right back from the corner. Jamal Wilkes averaging nearly 19 a game and the second leading scorer for the Lakers. Thomas controlling outside. Isaiah has 9 points in the ball game and 9 assists. Under 3 minutes to go, third period. Trapuka tried to pass it to Laimbeer on a pick and roll, and picked off by Magic Johnson, and Wilkes gets his second basket in a row.
Wilkes from Michael Cooper.
You better watch yourself. Any kind of pickoff, you've got to get back quickly against these Lakers because that triggers all their fast people up the court.
2.5 minutes to go, third period. It's a 79-77 game. Detroit leading Los Angeles. Coming around the screen is Isaiah Thomas, who now has 11 points in the game. Michael Cooper puts a fake on Thomas and feeds James Worthy. The big fake by Cooper on Isaiah Thomas set it all up.
They were afraid he was going to stuff it, so everybody in a white uniform went to greet him. Left Worthy strolling along down Broadway.
And Cooper has 7 assists. Under 2 minutes to go, third period. 30,000 fans here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. Laimbeer, 25 points for Bill Laimbeer. There's Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson momentarily guarding each other. And here's Magic ahead of everyone. Rambis misses. Kareem puts it in. 21 points for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Coming in, was averaging nearly 20 a game.
A bad gamble for a steal in the backcourt allows Magic to steam up the court. You can't afford to do that.
So now the Piston lead is down to 2 points with a minute and a half to go in the third period. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds, and Laimbeer just fires up a wild shot. That was not well orchestrated. But the Pistons get it back on another turnover by the Lakers. They're 27th, and Terry Tyler. Livingston.
Always there, Cliff Livingston.
He's given him an inside game.
He goes to the hoop every single time. If there was 100% for effort, he'd get it.
So Detroit up by 4. Livingston has 6 offensive rebounds. in the ball game. Johnson, basket counts. Good feed from Worthy, and Magic Johnson got free inside for his 16th point. But let's talk about Detroit off the offensive glass.
This is what they've needed all along. They're getting from Livingston good offensive rebounding. With Kareem being outside, having to worry about Lambier, that allows those two forwards free reign on the offensive board.
Magic has 17, and it's a one-point game now. Detroit by the skin of their teeth with 37 seconds to go in the third period. Isaiah Thomas penetrating. Kept alive by Terry Tyler. And Rambis, and it's getting awfully tight and physical inside as Rambis tore the ball away. And now the Lakers can take a lead with 17 seconds and 12 on the shot clock.
Well, Riley's got Kareem out, but Chuck Daly's staying with Lambier.
5 seconds on the shot clock, and Magic Johnson off the rim. His follow-up shot is good. The basket counts and a foul. And the Lakers have their first lead since they were in front 48-46 in the second period.
With Lambier still in the ball game, here's the replay of Magic going. Watch the bodies collide underneath there. Magic, one of the best rebounding guards. I would never call him a guard.
No, he plays 5 positions, doesn't he?
He plays all 5 positions. Remember, he played center against the Sixers in that final round, got 42.
The three-point attempt is no good at the buzzer. Minutes of the third period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn in the final 12 minutes, barring overtime.
Well, the assault troops for the Pistons will have to start to make their presence felt. And the accelerators for the Lakers will have to do their thing. And there's Worthy working Livingston.
Out of bounds. Look at that. The shooting percentage of the Lakers. They have a 2-point lead, trailing most of the second and third periods. And they have been shooting the lights out of the basket. 87-85, the Lakers lead. And, of course, we're going to talk more about that matchup. Earl Curitin came in the game. They need his defense on James Worthy. That may be the man the Lakers are going to hear.
Well, more importantly, they're going to give Lambier a couple of minutes rest.
Isaiah Thomas hits the first bucket for Detroit in the fourth period. He has 13 in the game, and we have a tie, our 7th of the game. 87 apiece. Go into Worthy with Livingston now on him. And Curitin loses the fight to Rambis. It's blocked. Look at them battle for the loose ball. And Thomas is dribbling the ball on the ground like Marcus Haynes used to with the old Harlem Globetrotters.
They have hit the floor more in this game than I've seen most teams in a season. Watch Isaiah hit the deck. And he's really said, I'm playing with this ball. And, baby, if I can get rid of it. But he heard the whistle.
Wilkes' third personal foul. First team foul on the Lakers in this fourth period. Vinnie Johnson. Anytime the Pistons have done anything, Vinnie Johnson's been in the game. Thomas. The drop for him.
One like that will get him back into the swing. He's smiling as he goes up the other end of the court.
And why not? 89-87, so the Pistons forge back ahead now. Magic Johnson, Michael Cooper at guard. Cooper misses the shot. Worthy keeps it alive at a new clock.
Lakers playing without a center right now. 2 power forwards, Worthy and Rambis, and they're making Worthy act like the center.
Johnson driving to the hoop, and Curitin gets the rebound. Now, the Pistons didn't run all that much in the third period. Should they do it more now?
They should push it through right now. That's their game.
Thomas again. 3 baskets as Kareem watches from the Laker bench. And a 4-point lead. Magic Johnson is fouled driving to the hoop. Star at Michigan State at East Lansing, and many of his friends and family are in the audience today.
What you're trying to do right now, Dick, is accelerate the pace with these both ball clubs with their bench to take a little steam out of the guys that might be playing the rest of the quarter. Guys like Magic, Isaiah Thomas, and maybe even Worthy, and particularly Wilkes. They've got a lot of guys that you would expect on the court right now that will remain there for the remainder of the game. So the Pistons should really try and accelerate, get it going the way they want.
23 for Magic Johnson. He's the high scorer for the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas has a hot hand so far in the fourth period, and there's the outlet pass. Worthy to Cooper to Magic Johnson. No basket, traveling. And we're going to have to Detroit, Michigan, and Johnson has 21 points. That's what he has right now, as the Lakers trail by 3, and Isaiah Thomas controlling against Cooper. Cooper and Thomas both have smiles on their faces. He brought it up. Vinnie Johnson, tantalizing on the rim.
Thank God for Vinny.
91-88, Lakers trailing by 3. They are record in the NBA when they've been leading after 3 quarters is 31-3 this year. They were leading after 3 today. Earl Curate winds up with the ball, gets in the hands of the right man. Thomas feeding Livingston, and Cliff Livingston in his second year from Wichita State, giving Pat Riley some headaches.
They got to keep doing more and more of that. Push it up as quick as possible. It's starting to crack the Laker defense.
Jamal Wilkes with 5 seconds on the shot clock. A line drive shot. It's 93-90 Detroit. Plenty of time remaining. 8 minutes and 40 seconds in the 4th period. And Kareem is going to be coming back in the game. Wilkes has hit his last 5 shots, so he can be a man to watch in the final minutes.
Here is a difficult situation. Vinnie Johnson being guarded by 6'7" Jamal Wilkes. Who do you go to?
And Worthy's on Livingston, who's been tough inside for Detroit. And we'll have a Los Angeles foul. It'll be their 2nd team foul. Here's Kareem coming back in along with Byron Scott.
We're going to see the fast break paying dividends, that push up fast in this portion of the game. As Rambis just about getting back in, those are the guys you try and beat. And just a little bit too late. Rambis getting maybe a little tired.
Jamal Wilkes' foul is his 4th personal foul. And Vinnie Johnson on the line. Magic Johnson takes a breather. He has scored 21 points. Wilkes stays in the game with 4 fouls. 5-point lead for Detroit. Pat Riley, also a candidate for Gentlemen's Quarterly with the way he dresses. Very good preparation. That's what's impressed a lot of the Lakers. Pat Riley's preparation, second to none maybe.
Bill Laimbeer still on the bench for the Pistons.
Foul by Livingston before the shot. That'll be the 2nd team foul against Detroit. And for Livingston, his 2nd personal. The 3 All-Stars are on the bench. Laimbeer on the left. And there's Tripucka. Isaiah Thomas is not on the bench. He is on the court. So we correct ourselves.
And there's Curtin trying to muscle.
Illegal defense called against Detroit, and that is a technical foul. That's the 2nd time it's been called against the Pistons. Illegal defense. Chuck Daly. And now the Lakers will go to the line and shoot a technical. So somebody was playing and not guarding anyone in the middle, I guess.
They had dropped into the painted area a little bit too long or too far off their man. You can't do that.
He missed it.
There it is. Nobody guarding. And somebody in was Isaiah, I guess. I couldn't see his number, but that was the illegal defense.
So with a 5-point lead, the Lakers trailing. Jamal Wilkes has hit 5 in a row, nearly 6, but it didn't go. And now Isaiah Thomas pushes it up for the Detroit Pistons with a 5-point lead and 7:45 to go in the 4th. Terry Tyler.
Great pass by Isaiah to make it happen that time. Wait for the defense to get caught up.
Biggest
good picks.
Biggest lead of the game now, Tom, for the Detroit Pistons. Couldn't come at a better time. Livingston beats Kareem to the ball, and here comes Isaiah again. Tyler. Puritan. Knocked away. Look at this sheer hustle by the Detroit Pistons. Puritan and a foul. At its best before 30,000 fans.
That's what this unit is in there for. Hustle. The Pistons, the assault troop, the A-team. Mr. T isn't here, but the rest of the crew is. And they're hitting the floor, they're banging the boards, and they're making people paid a price. Kareem stepped out of the way a couple of times.
4 personal fouls on Kareem. So the Detroit Pistons, at least today, are proving that you don't have to be a big team to be an effective team. And we have a foul before the shot. It is against the Pistons, and it's against Earl Curidan.
This type of effort right now, the up quick that Isaiah is producing, and the shooting of Tyler and the board banging of Livingston can break this game open.
Kareem spins inside. So it's 97-92. The Pistons hanging on with a 5-point lead with 6:50 to play, 4th period. Vinnie Johnson loves it in the crowd. Basket counts and a foul. And it was Thomas who got him the ball, Tom.
It was Thomas who got him the ball, but I have to laugh. I love this player. Up in the pack, 6'1" again. He has no fear.
Time. The Lakers have gotten cold all of a sudden after shooting 67% through the first 3 periods, according to our statistician Marty Aronoff. They're only 2 for 9 in this 4th period. And an 8-point lead, the biggest of the game for Detroit.
John Lambier in to really guard Jabbar right now. He can afford to be a lot more physical than he was in the beginning of the game.
Worthy against Livingston, and the foul is on Livingston. So now the Lakers seem to have 2 men inside, Worthy and Kareem, that you know they're going to try and go to and pick up fouls, if not baskets.
That's a nice luxury to have. Worthy, as we said at the top of the show, going to be one of the premier power forwards in low. He's got quickness, takes it to the hoop, righty, lefty, and also a good passer if he's double teamed. So a 2-fold attack down there, Jabbar and Worthy, that if you start to double them, it's going to free up the outside shooting of some of the better shooters like Scott and Wilkes.
15 points now, or 16 for Worthy, and Livingston has 3 personal fouls. Each team with 4 team fouls, so the next one will put him in the penalty. We have 6:12 to go in the 4th period. Thomas with 17 points and 13 assists is fouled. And that's the 15th foul against the Lakers. They're in the penalty, and Isaiah Thomas will go to the line.
And Kareem is guarding Lambier. A key decision by Pat Riley to have him stay with Lambier at this point in the ball game, because he's going to have to go out there with Lambier, and that will allow Livingston and Tyler to post up against Magic Johnson and Worthy.
Now, is that an advantage to post up Magic Johnson?
Normally they don't get that advantage against some of these teams, to allow those forwards to use their inside moves. So it may be pretty effective.
So you think that if they can get a forward inside even against Magic, that could be an advantage for Detroit?
They normally don't get an inside game against most teams.
Kareem with the skyhook. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he has been in a million pressure situations. Brings the Lakers to within 5. Kareem has 25, and Bill Lambier has 25. So both centers are having a good day offensively. 5:40 remaining. Now, in the 4th period, Livingston is blocked by James Worthy. Good play by Worthy. Byron Scott at the other end. And the Lakers are coming back, as they've done so many times.
Well, Magic had a little refresher on the bench. Byron Scott, they'll run with you.
Mention again, Tommy, what you brought out at the very start, the pride that this city and this franchise has and the importance of this game. Livingston knocked away by Cooper. Taken back by Tyler, who gets the basket.
Little surprise press. Didn't work.
Kelly Tripucka is going to be headed back in the ball game to spark Detroit. Worthy going in, no basket if it drops, and a foul before the shot, and that will put the Pistons in the penalty. Here's Tripucka coming back in. He replaces Tyler. Tripucka has 11 in the game, and Tyler, doing a good job off the bench, has 8. And Benson is back, yes.
And Matt, let's see how they're going to handle this situation. Kareem guarded Benson the last time that Benson was in. He may do it again. That'll allow Lambier to maybe go inside against Worthy. Well, those are the possibilities for the Pistons. And the Lakers still have Worthy to work with, and Kareem down low.
103 to 100, under 5 minutes to go. Vinnie Johnson. is playing the role of point guard here, and Isaiah Thomas is off guard. Benson lost the ball out of bounds, I believe, and now the Lakers trying to push it up quick. Can move to within one. Lane Beer and Kareem. Shot clock. Hook. Kareem, 27 points by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has hit his last 10 shots, so no question the Lakers are going to their big man down the stretch.
I've always respected him as a competitor. He gets fiery.
Isaiah Thomas misses outside. The Lakers are looking for a lead with 4:05 to go. They got Wilkes trying to post Tripucka up, getting him inside. 10 in a row for Kareem. 5 on the shot clock. And they're going to foul James Worthy, and that will send Worthy to the line and a chance to give the Lakers the lead once.
Hook in action once again.
4 personal fouls on Isaiah Thomas. Worthy ties the score. Keep in mind, James Worthy did not play in last year's NBA championship playoffs because of a broken leg. He hopes to be around for the experience this year. So the Lakers regain the lead.
And they've done it on the shoulders of Kareem.
Thomas off the glass, Laker ball. And Lane Beer is claiming there was a foul.
No, I think he's claiming that somebody knocked the ball out of their guy that the Lakers have. In fact, the Lakers have 2 of them, Jabbar and Worthy.
That's true, and the Pistons need to rely on the perimeter game. But tough defense, and they tie up. Isaiah Thomas and Jamal Wilkes will jump it up with 3:24 remaining. Chuck Daly, who coached at Cleveland, was 4 years an assistant under Billy Cunningham at Philadelphia. And Isaiah Thomas wins the jump against Jamal Wilkes. It's still Pistons ball.
How many times do you see a little guard do that? Not often.
So Isaiah Thomas with 18 points and 13 assists controlling. Benson outside. Lane Beer has been hot outside. Thomas gets the offensive rebound in a crowd. And Magic Johnson gets the rebound for the Lakers. With 3 minutes to go, the Lakers are up by 1.
Well, they went to Lambeer for that jump shot over Jabbar, but Jabbar right in his face.
And here's Kareem coming right back in Lane Beer with a sky hook. And they're going to call a foul on the Pistons, and Magic Johnson will go to the line to try to give LA a 3-point lead in this big struggle here. We've had 7 ties, 3 lead changes. Each team has had no more than a 7-point lead in this game.
That little offensive rebound that time shows that Magic is a great competitor. Guards don't normally get under there like that, but he is one of the outstanding rebounders at that guard position, and he uses it when they need it the most.
106-103. The Lakers and the Pistons bringing it up, and let's see what Tom has said all game long about the Pistons' inability to have that inside game down the stretch. Will it be cut out again? It's 12 on the shot clock, so they've got to go outside, and Isaiah Thomas misses. And a foul at the other end as Magic Johnson was hit by Vinnie Johnson, and exactly the Pistons style of play could be coming back to haunt him right here.
And why that hurts, Dick, is because at the tail end of a ball game, when the defense is the most vigorous, and you're also maybe a little bit tired, your legs are tired, you start to front rim it, and if you sink or swim on those jump shots, sometimes just sheer fatigue will throw you off your game.
But Magic Johnson is on the line, shooting 2 shots. Good free throw shooting throughout the game by both sides, and a 4-point lead for the Lakers. By the way, the Lakers have a 3-game lead over second place Portland in the Pacific Division. Pistons trail Milwaukee by 2 in the Central. Long and Thomas. Thomas has missed his last 5 shots. Kareem coming right up on Lane Beer. Tripucka drives and falls off. Lane Beer follow up and in.
Well, Tripucka left them all in the dust, and Lambeer set the pick and then stepped for the rebound. They're still hanging.
They sure are, down by 3. And now 2 minutes remaining in the 4th period. Kareem to Wilkes. Magic Johnson, another offensive rebound. His 11th rebound of the ball game. And more important, a new clock for the Lakers. On the shot clock. Open is Scott. Big basket for L.A.
And when that ball goes into Jabbar and everybody double teams him and he kicks it back out to their good outside shooters, they're shooting all alone virtually.
Tripucka is fouled going up and will go to the line to shoot two with 1.5 minutes. 1:30 showing on the clock. And the Pistons needing every point they can get, trailing by 5. Wilkes' 5th foul.
Kelly Tripucka at the line for Detroit for 2 shots.
Kelly Tripucka, you know, is the subject of some controversy around here on whether he's going to be declared a free agent, go for free agency, sign with another ball club. And he's been an integral part of the resurgence of this team. He's provided that extra guy they needed to make this fast break attack work. He's the 3rd man up the floor and very effective at it.
These are his first points in the second half. He has 13 in the ball game and a 3-point ball game now. The Pistons, of course, have had their contractual problems. There's a turnover. Worthy throws it away. A 31st turnover by the Lakers, who lost the ball 33 times against the Nets this week in a loss.
That happens when you get a little tired. You're on the road a little bit too long and trying to play the pace that these Lakers do.
And this is a big offensive sequence for the Pistons. 1:15 remaining, trailing by 3. Tripucka. To go. Jamal Wilkes looking to inbound, and the Lakers now have to call a 20-second timeout. Assists, Isaiah Thomas, 18 points, 14 assists. And NCAA basketball comes up next. 1 minute to go, and 15 on the shot clock. The Lakers by 1. Kareem. Lambeer will give him the skyhook. And a foul. He'll go to the line and shoot. Now Lambeer was giving him the baseline for the skyhook. Why is that?
I don't think he planned on doing that. It just ended up that Jabbar positioned him in such a way that Lambeer couldn't adjust, and that's why he ended up fouling him. They had originally planned to try and force Jabbar to turn to the middle, even on the right side, and go to his left hand. But Jabbar's a cagey old pro.
He's 36 years old, and that's what he is, a great pro. Look for the Pistons to call a timeout if Kareem makes this free throw. And that's what, 2 seconds to go. 3-point Laker lead. Tripucka will inbound. He's got Thomas. Isaiah Thomas penetrating, going all the way. And only used up 4 seconds. And pressure in the backcourt by the Pistons. 112 to 111. Los Angeles leading.
I don't think anybody's going home early here.
This is where the action is. And a pushing foul will send Magic to the line, and Chuck Daly's looking to heaven.
You hate to see somebody win a game on the foul line. As a coach, you're being aggressive. You're telling your players to be aggressive.
Against Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Cougars. You see one of those games. Magic is 8 of 9 from the free throw line. 34 seconds remaining in the 4th period. And he's got 27 in the game all told.
How to win the games in the last few minutes.
All right, Tripucka will inbound. He goes to Lambeer. 34 seconds to go. And Cliff Livingston. This is the layup. And they're going to call a foul on Livingston. And Livingston had position for the layup. And so Livingston commits his 5th personal foul.
It really wasn't an easy shot, but they had the right idea. Jabbar had to come out on Lambeer, and that allowed Livingston to post up. Chuck Daly a little unhappy. The strategy fine, but Worthy got right in there, and he comes from North Carolina, you know, where they play that good defense. And he had a fake, and had a pushback, and it was not an easy shot, but in his frustration ends up fouling Michael Cooper.
So 28 seconds to go. Could be a 5-point lead now for the Lakers, and it is. They have hit 16 straight free throws. So
that the official would have called.
Livingston in his 2nd year from Wichita State. Thomas with a 3-point attempt. Short. Livingston gets it out to Trapilka. His three-point attempt. And there is Isaiah Thomas with 18 seconds, going for three again. And this is a wild shot. And they're going to call a foul against Detroit. The crowd thought that Magic Johnson traveled, but he was fouled first. And with 14 seconds to go, the Lakers are in solid shape right now, especially having hit 16 straight free throws.
You know, Dick, when I coached the Boston Celtics, we were in a similar situation like these Pistons here. The addition of one player projected my team into a championship caliber ball club. That was Paul Silas. And the Pistons are looking for the same type of player. And I think if they get him, watch out.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the game, and Magic Johnson is going to be fouled with 10 seconds to go.
Detroit foul number 11, Isaiah Thomas, is fifth.
So Magic Johnson misses the free throw, but the Lakers made him when they needed him, and the LA Lakers with the second best record in the league, leading by 6 with 10 seconds to go, can go 40-20. They hold on to their lead. Pistons might fall 2.5 behind Milwaukee in the Central. 118-111. It is still Pistons ball.
The Lakers really have the epitome of what every team would like to have right now. Speed, quickness, they know how to use it, and also that fine inside game that produces good, solid points.
And a bench, they used to call them the Great 8. They're going to be the tantalizing 10 when McAdoo gets back. Three-point shot is good by Vinnie Johnson. And that's not going to be enough as the time runs out, but they usually do down the stretch.